Happens to the best of us. Always wear your safety equipment, folks. Hey guys, it's Joe from Eastwood, and in this video we're going to be showing you how to take a plain piece of sheet metal like this guy right in front of me and turning it into a motorcycle fender or something that could go on your project car. Now, while we're not working on a real motorcycle today, and you might not be working on a motorcycle either, this is going to be more of a demonstration of exactly what our tools can do to take something plain like this and make it into something nice. In this video, we're going to highlight the shrink or stretcher. We're going to be using a little bit of the English wheel, sandbag and hammer, the snips, the shears, and we're going to make this into something pretty. So without any further ado, we already got a layout on our panel. I have two trim lines over here. This is basically just going to be excess. We're going to get rid of that just so this is a little bit easier to work with. In the center, we have a rectangle here, nothing special. For the radius edge, I showed you how to do that in the last video with simple tools around the shop that just have a half circle to them. In this case, we just use dividers. You can see that scratch in there. I dotted it like a perforation, and that is really all there is to it. We're going to take this over to the shear next and get rid of this excess, and then we can start working. All right, so over to the sandbag. This is going to be pretty simple. All we're going to do is gently hit this down the middle and work our way out to the sides, and as we do, this is going to start to take shape. Now, I like this hammer right here. I'm going to use the tight end. I feel like this works well for this job, and I'm not going to hit it too hard. When you get these really hard dents in there, it just makes life harder to smooth those out on the English wheel, so I'm going to do a lot of light strikes, and you'll start to see this thing take shape as a fender. All right, so as you can see, we got a couple hits in the middle here. I started to go off to the side, and this is already starting to take shape as a fender. So we're going to continue on with this side, move over to this side, do the same thing, and try to even this out and get a nice radius. Now the curve we're going for here is going to be a more side-to-side bend. Now, if you wanted to do the forward to back bend and really get that curve around the tire with the mallet and sandbag, you could do that here, just be a little bit more aggressive. Pull up on the back, it's the same idea, just in the different access, and that will give you that forward to back curve that you're after. But for what I'm doing, this is looking pretty good, and we're gonna use the shrink or stretcher later on to get that forward to back curve that we're after. And as you guys can see, I'm only swinging the hammer 6 inches here. You don't need a lot in order to get this to take shape. And the smoother we can make this, the easier it'll be in the English wheel, like I said. All right, so after only a couple of minutes with the hammer and sandbag, we're in a radius that I really like for this, starting to look good. That's about what I want. So we're gonna head over to the English wheel and start to smooth out those hammer blows. Now, as you guys probably already know, you can get a shape like this on any English wheel, no problem. The Eastwood Elite Mini English wheel will get the job done for you, no question whatsoever. However, I think the hammer and sandbag method is a little bit quicker, and I like that method. A little bit of stress relief in the project as well, so that's what we went with. But with all that out of the way, let's start with the English wheel. Now the method to this, really nothing special. Wheels aren't too tight. You don't want to stretch this if you're at a radius that you like. You don't want to tighten up those wheels really tight and have this bend over more. So these are really loose. All I'm trying to do is flatten out the hammer blows. Nice slow passes, nice and straight. Pushing straight forward, pulling straight back. I'm trying to get this thing nice and smooth. Very easy. So smoothing out nicely, nice and tight passes there, nice and straight. As you can see, starting to flatten out a little bit here, so we're just gonna put a hair more of a turn into the wheel, tighten this up a little bit and get those last few dents out. All right, shaping up super nice, smooth, not perfectly smooth, but definitely sandable. You can see nice tight passes. The bumps are definitely starting to flatten out, so we're just gonna take this backside, we're gonna follow our tracing here, and we're gonna cut that out with the tin snips. All right, as you can see, guys, I'm taking this extremely slow. You can always remove more material, but you can't add material back in. So whenever you're cutting or removing, you always want to be very, very careful to hit your line, measure twice, cut once, as they say. Now, this is why you use tin snips. Yes, I know they're technically aviation snips. Go ahead and leave your comments down below, but look at that edge, almost perfect. They do take a little bit. They're tough to work with, but when you're doing a curve to the left, use the green ones, right? The red ones, just like a boat, but really happy with where we're at. A little bit of sanding to bring that into shape, and that will look mint. So, I like where we're at right now. We're gonna head over to the shrinker, get to work, putting that bend in front to back so this radius is around our tire. All right, so the star of the show, the Eastwood Elite Shrinker Stretcher. Really nice piece, heavy duty construction, really solid. Nice deep throat to this as well, makes it really easy to work with this thing. It's foot actuated, which is a must have in my opinion, makes this a really easy job to do. It's on wheels, so this rolls right around the shop. It's got a safety lock for the lever, and looks pretty sharp in that nice black powder coating as well. Very nice product from Eastwood's Elite line. Now, back to our motorcycle fender. We're gonna do a nice shallow pass on the side here, and as we do that, you'll start to see this take shape. It really is that simple. Now with this thing, consistency is key. You can see I'm sliding it down the same amount every time, keeping it the same depth in the jaw. Going nice and slow, get a feel for your panel. Let it sort of speak to you. And sure enough, it's come along nice. All right, so for a first pass, we're getting some radius in there, as you can see, looking pretty good for a first pass. You can see it's starting to bend in here a little bit, nice and slow, take things easy like I said. We're gonna do the same thing for the other side in the same exact manner, and then we'll probably come back for a second pass as well. So after a couple of passes, I'm really starting to like the way this is looking. We got a great radius up right there, really would easily match a motorcycle tire. So I think we're good. We're just gonna put some 220 paper on the DA sander, clean up some of those lines from the shrinker, give this one nice even finish, and then we'll call it a day. So after a few minutes with the DA, I'm really liking where this is at. Kind of a theme for this video. This thing has come along great and really cooperated. The top is nice and smooth. All those hammer blows, they came right out. That's ready to go as is. On the sides here, we do have a couple of low spots from our shrinker. Really no big deal. If you wanted to metal finish this and really get a nice bare metal look to it, you could keep going with the sander and get those all out. However, if you wanted to use some body filler, we're going to show you exactly how that's done in the next episode of In Minutes. So stay tuned for that. We'll show you how to get this nice and smooth. Also, if you're interested in bead rolling the edges here, that could be a nice touch. I've seen a lot of fenders finish like that. I have an In Minutes video about bead rollers. Make sure you check that out as well. That'll go into detail about exactly how to do that. That's going to do it, guys. We're giving away a MiG 180 welder at 500,000 subscribers. Of course, we'll have all these products linked below. As always, thanks for watching. I'm JD. Keep it right here at Eastwood to do the job right.